Good afternoon or good morning, everyone. Today we're going to continue our lesson series on infographics. So just to recap, and let's start off by talking about what an infographic is. So to better understand what an infographic is, we need to remember that it comes from the word information and graphic. It is a visual representation of information which aims to make the data easily understandable at a first glance. So let's look at comparison infographics and what they are. A comparison infographic examines the similarities and differences between two or more products or locations, events, actions, ideas, or, in this case, individuals. Here we have two American basketball players, and they are compared to determine if Kobe is as good as Michael Jordan. So it's a very simple format for this infographic. It's split down the middle. You see what almost looks like a single image, but obviously it's made up of the two faces. So what I want you to do is think about the visuals that this infographic uses. So the visuals are obviously the images, the pictures, the icons, etc. that are used in the image. So if you have a look at this, and even if you start thinking about the way colour is used, why do you think that the Kobe Bryant side of the infographic is predominantly purple and the Michael Jordan side is predominantly red? Why do you think that might be? I'll get the teacher to pause for a moment and ask. So, those of you who are basketball fans would have noticed that the Lakers, one of their signature or iconic colours is purple, and for the Chicago Bulls it is red. And so those colours are about representing the teams that they are associated with. So what you see is it's divided up in terms of the content, the data, it's divided up into things like stats and awards. And at the bottom, we also have another section which is really about identifying information about them, but also the kind of sponsorship that they have accrued in their career. So they've used graphs. So you've got like a dot graph or you've got a bar graph, which is about representing information. And so the idea is it's meant to be a visual, easily accessible representation which is presenting knowledge. So there's some understandings or a basic idea that this is presenting. So according to this infographic, who do you think is the greatest of all time, Bryant or Jordan? So I'm going to let you pause for a moment and have a discussion about this. Okay, welcome back. So you may not agree with this infographic. You may think that Bryant was a better basketballer than Jordan, but in terms of the greatest of all time, the knowledge or the understanding that this infographic is presenting is clearly that Michael Jordan is the greatest. He certainly has accrued far more. If you look at the symbols down the bottom, more sponsorship. His earnings were higher. He has, if I was just going to be really basic about it, he's got more red dots than Kobe has purple dots. So this is about, even for someone like me who doesn't really know much about basketball, I can look at this and I can see the way it's represented, the way it's set out. I come away with a knowledge or understanding or a belief that Jordan is a better basketballer. So that's sort of a comparison infographic that's quite interesting. So let's look at the next one, which is an informational infographic. So an informational infographic template is the best infographic for clearly communicating a new or a specialised concept or to give an overview of a topic. Typically, an informational infographic is divided into sections with descriptive headers. It often keeps information brief, like 5 to 7 key points, Descriptive headers and illustrative icons help communicate each point clearly. So we've got a really simple one. 5 tips to keep your chin up. So to keep your chin up is a phrase or saying about having a positive attitude. All right, so let's have a look. The information is divided up into 5 sections. Each one has a different colour, so it's colour-coded. There's even numbers. But let's have a look at the kind of icons or pictures that are used. So for number 1, do something impulsive. You have an image of a sun over mountains. Do something impulsive that you haven't planned each day. It's better to have no plan so we can seize opportunities that may arise. So I guess the sun coming up suggests the beginning of a new day. And it's suggesting we should do something impulsive each day, do something different. Second one, have rituals. We are less who we are than what we do. Do 3 things that you love every day. As a result, feeling the gratitude will help you to better sleep, and better sleep helps to be in a better mood. A better mood helps to make better decisions. So because the focus is on doing something you love, they're obviously using the icon of love hearts. Number 3, very simple, the whole idea of building up muscles that represents exercise. A bell, the idea is take a break. Why do you think a bell? What do we associate at school bells with? Well, we might associate with the beginning of day, but it also indicates things like recess, lunch, or even better, the end of the day. Learn something new. So the book icon, I suppose, represents knowledge or understanding. So this is very simple. Each one has a heading. Each one has a bit of information, and each one has an icon. Each one has a different colour. So these are tips or suggestions to help people keep a positive attitude or a positive mindset. Very, very simple infographic. The icons are very simple. The colour, it's about attracting your attention. It's about the idea is that you come away with a knowledge of understanding of something that you can do to keep a positive mindset. Okay, so after this you're going to see a number of infographics. What I want you to do is to look at them. I want you to think about what category do they fall into, and is that perhaps more than one? What information do they present? And do you think it's well presented and clear to understand? Okay, so let's have a look. So here we have an infographic, facts about Krispy Kreme donuts. Probably presents content we may not necessarily want to know about. You'll have a copy of this in your task booklet. You get a chance to have a look at a colour one on the screen for a while, and then you're going to answer those questions. So the idea is you've got to think about what are the visuals, what's the data, and what's the knowledge or understanding. And I want you to think about what kind of infographic it is, or is it maybe a combination, and how effective you think it is. I'll give you a little bit more time to look at it, and there's a few other ones that are going to come, and you get to look at the colour one on the screen. You should have a copy in your booklet, and you're going to have a discussion in the class. You can talk with a partner first, and you need to answer those questions. Okay. Okay, so now that we've spent some time looking at the last two categories for infographics, and you've had a chance to look at some samples, you need to do some writing. So what I want you to think about as you're looking at them is, what are the visuals? So what are the pictures you see, the colours, the icons, the images? What is the content in each of them? The numbers, the information, the data, statistics. And lastly, what is the knowledge? What do you know? What do you think, feel or believe as a result of looking at the infographic? I also want you to write down whether you think it's effective or not, and make sure you also write down what type of infographic or what category each one fits into. Okay, off you go.